AI is absolutely exploding across the business world, right? It's not just some buzzword anymore. It's a fundamental shift that promises incredible efficiency and insight. But with this massive opportunity comes a really big challenge. Who is actually steering the ship?
Seriously, think about it for a second. In your company, who is the one person responsible for making sure AI delivers real value and doesn't just open up a whole new can of worms when it comes to risk? You might think, oh, that's got to be the CIO, or maybe some company with a brand new chief AI officer.
Well, the answer, it might actually surprise you. Because in a growing number of really forward-thinking companies, the person who's stepping up to orchestrate this whole AI journey, it's probably not who you'd expect. Okay, so let's get into it. The Chief Financial Officer's role is going through this radical transformation. We're talking about a mandate that is expanding way beyond the traditional world of spreadsheets and financial reports. They are actually becoming the strategic driver of AI adoption. And this quote from CFO Ziad Shaloub really just nails the new mindset. See, it's not just about managing the finances anymore. It's about enabling digital innovation to make sure the company is still around and competitive in the future. The CFO is now a key player in building a more resilient organization. So this really defines their new identity, the strategic AI champion. You can think of them as the bridge between all the incredible potential of AI and, the cold, hard reality of business strategy. They're the ones asking the tough questions, making sure every AI project has a clear purpose and a real path to making an impact.
And that leads us to one of their most critical jobs, making sure that AI isn't just some expensive hobby, but that it's a source of tangible, measurable value for the business.
This comparison just highlights the massive shift perfectly. The traditional CFO was a steward, right? Focused on historical data, controlling costs. But the modern AI-era CFO is a strategist. They're focused on the future, they're enabling innovation, and they're driving value creation. It's a complete pivot from playing defense to playing offense. So how do they even measure the return on these huge AI investments? Well, it's not about simple cost savings anymore. They're using much smarter metrics, looking at things like, are people actually using the tools? Are we seeing real productivity gains? Is our forecasting getting more accurate? This disciplined approach makes sure AI projects are actually delivering on their promises before they get scaled up across the entire company. And here's the end game, put perfectly by Dell's CFO, Yvonne McGill. A well-run AI strategy isn't just some operational win. It directly impacts the bottom line. It flows right through the P&L, showing up in the financial numbers that the board and investors really, really care about. But championing innovation is only half the story. There's a whole other side to this coin, and it's just as important. Managing all the new and complex risks that AI brings to the table. The CFO also has to be the guardian. And believe me, these risks are very real. You've got regulators like the SEC now cracking down on something called AI washing, which is basically when companies make false or exaggerated claims about their AI. For a CFO, who's ultimately on the hook for a company's public statements, this is a huge red flag. Now get this. This statistic is just staggering. Only about 11 to 15% of large companies right now disclose any kind of board-level oversight of AI. That highlights a massive governance gap. And with so few companies having that top-level supervision, the responsibility often falls right into the CFO's lap to build the necessary guardrails from the ground up. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like a methodical playbook. CFOs are leading the charge to inventory all the AI tools, assess their risks, set up governance councils, implement controls like bias testing, and then educate the entire workforce. It's all about creating a framework to keep AI within safe, ethical, and effective boundaries. Now, a successful AI strategy just can't happen in a silo. It needs deep collaboration across the entire leadership team, and the CFO is increasingly the one becoming the central connector in that whole effort. And this collaboration is absolutely key. The CFO is partnering with the CISO on security, with HR on getting the workforce ready, with the CIO on tech alignment, and with the legal team on compliance. They're the one person who can speak everyone's language, translating the tech speak into financial impact and risk for the rest of the team. Ultimately, by being this C-suite bridge, the CFO stops all those fragmented, random AI projects that so often fail.
They make sure everyone is rowing in the same direction, creating a single, unified AI strategy for the whole organization.
So, as we start to wrap up, what's the big picture here? It's really about charting a balanced path forward, one that totally embraces AI's incredible promise while also rigorously managing its dangers. So, here are the key takeaways from our explainer. The modern CFO is no longer just counting costs, they're driving innovation. They insist on seeing measurable value from every AI project. They build a robust governance framework to manage risk, and they act as the central hub for the entire C-suite. They are both the catalyst and the guardian. And that leaves us with one final thought. Take a look at your own company's leadership. Is your financial leader still playing that traditional role of steward, or have they stepped up to become the indispensable strategist who is charting your company's AI future? Because the answer to that question could very well determine your success in this new era.